story of a young man from Vietnam whose unusual project has gone viral across the internet. Thousands of people have been amazed by what he accomplished. One day, he made a life-changing decision. He would leave behind everything modern civilization had to offer: no city life, no electricity, no markets, and no dependence on society. His life would revolve around nature, determination, and the skills of his own hands. His goal was simple yet unbelievable: to build a completely self-sustaining floating island in the middle of a lake. As impossible as it sounds, this dream led him deep into the dense rainforests of Vietnam, where a remote and quiet lake lay hidden among the trees. Surrounded by wilderness, silence, and unknown dangers, he was about to face the greatest challenge of his life. But it soon became clear that he wasn't just building a house. He was building his future. In a place with no conveniences and no ready-made resources, he would create an entirely new life from scratch using only creativity, hard work, and determination. The first step was building a floating foundation. After exploring the forest, he discovered that bamboo was the perfect material. It was strong, lightweight, and naturally buoyant. He began cutting bamboo and tying the poles together to form a large raft. But there was a problem. He had no rope. Instead of giving up, he turned to nature for a solution. He stripped strong fibers from bamboo and twisted them into durable ropes. Using those ropes, he secured the bamboo together and slowly built a stable, floating platform. After days of hard work, the foundation was finally complete. Next came the construction of a wooden house. Since he had no nails, he relied on an ancient woodworking technique. He carved holes into the wood and fitted wooden pegs into them, creating strong joints without using a single piece of metal. Surprisingly, the structure stood firm. For the roof, he split bamboo into thin pieces and arranged them like tiles. The design allowed rainwater to flow off easily, keeping the inside dry during storms. Within a few weeks, a sturdy, floating home emerged in the middle of the lake. However, shelter alone wasn't enough. He needed food. At first, he survived by collecting shellfish and catching small fish from the lake, but he knew that long-term survival required a reliable food source. Later, he moved to a flatter area with a sandy shoreline, bringing his loyal dog with him. There, he began creating a floating garden. He collected rich soil, decaying leaves, and organic matter from the forest, and placed them on sections of the raft. Soon, he planted chili peppers, vegetables, and even a banana tree. Over time, the floating home transformed into a small, green paradise. Not stopping there, he built a fish pond in the center of the raft where he could raise fish. He also designed a special fishing trap. One day, the trap caught a large catfish, proving that his system was working. To travel more efficiently around the lake, he built a pedal-powered boat. With this simple invention, he could explore different areas, gather more bamboo and wood, and expand his project. As his confidence grew, so did his ambitions. One day, he came up with an extraordinary idea: growing rice on water. Using bamboo, he built a large platform and lined it with banana leaves to retain moisture. He then added a mixture of soil, composted leaves, and wood ash to create fertile farmland. Into this floating field, he planted rice seeds. Many people would consider such an idea impossible, but through patience and experimentation, he made it work. While exploring the forest one day, he noticed a well-worn animal trail. Realizing that wildlife frequently passed through the area, he set a trap nearby. Soon, the trap caught 2 wild chickens. Instead of using them for food immediately, he thought ahead. He built a small shelter for them on the floating island. turning them into a long-term source of eggs and future livestock. Now, his floating island was becoming more than just a shelter. It was becoming a living ecosystem. To improve pollination in his garden, he needed bees. After searching the forest, he found a wild beehive. Carefully, he captured the queen bee and placed her in a new wooden box. Before long, the entire colony moved into its new home. Now, hundreds of bees buzzed around his garden, helping plants grow while providing valuable honey. Months passed. Finally, harvest season arrived. The rice he had planted was ready. He cut the stalks, dried them, processed the grains, and produced rice entirely through his own efforts. After so much hard work, eating a bowl of rice grown by his own hands became one of the most rewarding moments of his life. Gradually, the floating island evolved into a miniature village. It had fish farms, vegetable gardens, rice fields, chicken shelters, and beehives. Just 1 year earlier, he had arrived at the Lake Komplo,